everyone, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. Today you join me for episode 4 of Hot Hatch Head2Head. However, today we have something a little bit different. We're branching out the series as I'm joined today by Johnny and his Mark 8 Fiesta ST. Now I'm going to crack straight on with the video and hand you over to you, Johnny, because there's a couple of things which I think both you and me need to learn about this car, which is why it's featuring in this video.
Okay, so this is my 2018 Mark 8 ST3, which means it's got all the trimmings, also got the pano sunroof and all the options that you can tick pretty much. And since buying this car, I've played with it a little bit. So as you can see, the bonnet's up. I've got a C Performance induction kit on the front there, which gives it a bit of extra noise, maybe a bit of extra power.
Looks pretty cool as well.
It does look quite nice under the bonnet, I must admit. That's pretty much it under the hood. It's the standard 1.5 3-cylinder engine, which has cylinder deactivation technology, which is controversial, to say the least. So on the side, you can see it's probably got a slightly lower stance. It's lowered 20 mils all the way around on some lowering springs by ST Suspension, which are engineered by KW. And then at the back of the car, I have a Miltech GPF back exhaust. Now, as this is a modern and eco-friendly car, it does indeed have a GPF in the middle. So the standard cat and the GPF are still intact. The Miltech is essentially just a back box. It retains the valve, which moves in the same way as stock. So yeah, that's pretty much the modifications. But in order to compete with Luke's Golf R, I have a secret weapon, and that is shown by these lovely badges here. Now, this car has REVO software installed on it. Currently still in its development phase. There's only a few cars in the UK with this, a couple abroad and throughout the EU as well. But it's very much in its development stage, and I must admit, I can't wait for it to be released.
So this is one of the development cars then?
It is one of the development cars.
And you said to me off camera that this is one of the first in the UK of the Mark 8, is that true?
When it was delivered, yeah, it's well, certainly in the first batch. Unfortunately, I had some pretty serious delivery issues with these, and I don't really understand the wait time, but yes, this was one of the first in the UK.
Well, that's some blagging rights.
It is, yeah, down the pub.
So with the REVO, what is it, like tuning kit installed, what power are you running? So this particular car is yet to go on a dyno, but the other development cars have been on the dynos, and they're running between 240 and 250 and around about 360 to 370 newton meters of torque, which is one hell of a lot more than stock. Yeah, definitely, that is for sure. So actually off camera, before we started filming, I said to you just how loud this thing sounds. And I think it's actually going to give my car a run for its money. And you know what? Sound is the first round, so should we get stuck in?
Indeed, let's crack on.
Okie dokie.
81.
81?
81.
81.
Then it settled around 65-ish once on idle.
Yours was, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 79.9.
Oh,
which
wasn't comfort mode.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think both of our startups are pretty...
They're not far off, actually.
Pretty average, aren't they, really? They're not... It's the revs where they really come into their own.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So for those of you who are unfamiliar with how this particular round works, it's split into 3 different subsections, I suppose you could say. A startup, some revs, and a flyby. And obviously we have done 2 of the 3, a startup and a revs. And up till now, I have won the startup and we don't know who won the revs. So I can tell you that the decibel came at 115-ish.
That's pretty good, actually.
I must say, doesn't that thing sound ridiculous?
It doesn't sound like a corporate grey Fiesta.
No, it doesn't. What was mine? Just out of interest?
Just over 100. And what was interesting is you tested whether it would actually bang or not.
And it was louder.
And it was the loudest one. And it was off camera.
No way.
But that doesn't count, obviously.
Okay, so 1-1. So the flyby is the decider.
Indeed it is.
Predictions? DSG farts or pops?
I've got a bit of induction too.
Oh no. Okay, so moving on to round 2, which is of course power to weight ratio. So I'm actually going to get out my phone as per usual to run through the different stats. So my curb weight of the Golf R is 1,483 kilograms. But before you give me yours, I'd like to make a prediction. I think I think yours is going to be a lot lighter than mine.
Yes, yeah, I've definitely got that.
So what's your curb weight?
So my curb weight is 1,262 kilos.
Okay. So what, nearly 200 kilograms lighter?
Yeah.
But because of the difference in brake horsepower, mine being 310, yours being 250 with the REVO Magic. So mine works out at 209 brake horsepower per ton.
198 brake horsepower per ton, which although is less, it's close to
It's close. Okay, so actually, whilst we're on that topic, actually, I think there's going to be a lot of comments saying, "Oh, why are you comparing the Fiesta ST to the Golf R?" Purely because of that REVO stuff, because it's not standard, it's nowhere near standard. But I'm actually quite surprised how close that was.
It is close. The only advantage of the Golf R is, of course, you have four-wheel drive to put that power
Definitely, down. And that is going to be very important for the third round.
Indeed.
Which is 0 to 60. Okay, so you join me now inside the Fiesta ST, but actually, I forgot to mention that Johnny, of course, has a YouTube channel.
I do. It's all centred around this Mark 8, a few other cars as well, but a lot of Mark 8 Fiesta content. So if you want to see more of this car, it's JB CTR, so that's JB space, i.e. a gap, CTR. I'm sure link will
be in the description and also at the end of this video if you want to go check it out. But anyway, you join me now, of course, in the Fiesta ST. First time I've been in one of these, like, no matter what mark.
It's a much nicer place to be than the old one.
These seats, first thing I said to you, these seats are very, very nice. Recaros. Very, you don't go anywhere, do you? But anyway, enough of that. Round 3 is, of course, 0 to 60. Now, a bit of a change of plan to the previous episodes because we have diabolical weather today. The roads are completely damp. Launch control on both this and my car are just not going to do anything. No. So it's going to be a standing start, 0 to 60. But if I just grab this out of here, we have a little draggy. Now, you guys have been pestering me in the comments saying, "Oh, you need one of these." No, thank you for lending me it.
That's all good.
I think I'm probably going to have to buy one, aren't I? But we've got that to measure it, so it should be as accurate as ever. Apart from this road might not be completely level.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a valid run on it.
Yeah.
So draggy will tell you if it's valid or invalid, dependent on the camber and the gradient and that kind of stuff.
But anyway, standing start. Are you ready?
Not really. I feel this is a losing round for me.
Okay, so you got front wheel drive.
Front wheel drive.
I've got four wheel drive, so I've got a bit of advantage and I've got more power.
Indeed. I do have a limited slip diff, which will help, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't it?
Indeed. Should we go?
Let's do it.
Cool.
3, 2, 1. Ooh, a lot of spinning into second. That's 60. I thought it was going to spin a little bit more than that, you know.
I could feel the LSD grabbing, to be fair. It was doing as much as it could, but I must admit, these damn roads are not good for a front-wheel drive.
They are soaking wet today.
I mean, a 0 to 60 for this car is not where it's meant to be.
No.
It's really not
And obviously
good.
Because there's not even any point using launch control.
No, I mean, it's just going to do the same thing. It's
going to do the same. And if anything, it's probably going to bulk down a little bit more.
So I mean, I'm trying to keep the revs low in order to stop it from spinning, and it starts spinning at around about 2,000 RPM.
Yeah.
And there's not too much I can do about that, I don't think.
Yeah.
But then, to be fair, that goes to show that the Golf R is just so capable.
True.
At any time.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the biggest advantage to the Golf R, I think.
Drive.
Is it's literally awesome power, whatever the weather. Just crack on.
Easy as that. Into the Golf R. Your first time in a Golf R?
It's not my first time.
It's not?
It is my first time in a standard one though.
Okay, have you driven a heavily modified one?
I have driven a heavily modified one, but I've driven a lightly modified one.
Okay. And
I've been a passenger in a heavily modified one.
Interesting.
Cool. So it'll be interesting to see the performance of this. I mean, it's going to cream my Fiesta in this weather.
Okay, so actually before we get into this, we had a look on the old Draggy.
Yep.
I think it was 8.45. Yeah, 8.45.
Which is horrendous.
Down to the weather.
I mean, down to wheel spin. I think I lost more tyres.
Well, anyway, we've got the Draggy set up. We've got it in this car now. Lovely. And we can see what this does.
Nice little cubby hole for it.
Yeah. So we're in manual mode. We're not going to do launch, similar to yours. Do you want to count me down?
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
No wheel spin whatsoever.
Oh, and it just grips.
60.
Just grips, man.
Massive difference, isn't it? Do you think that there's only, what, 60 horsepower difference in the two cars?
It's just whether you can get it down.
To be fair, they're different cars, aren't they? And I know that a lot of people in the comments are going to be like, they're stupidly different, why are you comparing them? But
Indeed.
To be fair, they're not that different, really.
In terms of power levels,
yeah,
it's the biggest difference is the way they deliver the power.
Yes.
That is the be all and end all really between these two cars.
Exactly.
If you get the Fiesta on a lovely dry day, it is hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, they're fun cars. I mean,
both of them are.
The sound of your car,
it's ridiculous.
It's bonkers. It's louder than this on the revs.
It's a bit mad.
I think it was what, 115 decibels.
It's crazy.
Crazy. But anyway.
But yeah, as I said, they're both awesome cars.
Yeah.
This car is far more usable if you just want to drive a million miles an hour every day, all day.
Anyway, now that we've pulled over, get my phone back out and see what we did. 5.76.
Which actually is quite slow for this car.
It is. I mean, I've got 4.2 with launch control, obviously, on a dry day. But it does fluctuate a lot, I've found, with launch control. But there we go. 5.76. Still another win for the Golf. What are we now? 3-0? So the penultimate round is, of course, fuel economy. Now, I purposely positioned this round just after what would be normally launch controls for a reason, but I think this might be your time to shine, you know?
Yes, I think at last, a round this might be in my favour with my tiny engine.
So yeah, basically, it's a fairly simple round, really. We're just going to hop into both cars, have a browse through the computers, and have a look at the average MPG. So,
come on, looking forward to this one.
Let's do yours first. Yeah. Okay, hopping into the Fiesta first. Start it up. Okay, now I predict that yours is going to be significantly better than mine.
I should think so.
You hope so, you mean?
Yes. I mean, feel free to quit all of the menus.
Yeah, there's a lot of menus. Okay, there we go. 34.2. Is it going to focus? There we go. 34.2. Now that I know for a fact is better than mine, even when I'm in eco mode and cruising.
But I'll be honest, that I'm a little bit cheating going on there. So I don't have a fuel economy reading for this trip.
Okay.
It's over 228 miles.
Oh yeah, gotcha. That's
the way in which we've been driving today, if I'm honest, it's going to be significantly less.
Yeah, but anyway.
Can I keep it? Just
right? For your dignity, yes. In the Golf now, let's have a look through the menus. Average consumption. Okay, so 15.7 is since start, but seeing as yours was
over 250-ish miles.
So what, since refueling or something is that?
It's since I last reset the computer.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Wow. 23.6.
Wow, but to be fair, mine is a daily, therefore it does spend a lot of time on the motorway, whereas yours is just a toy.
Yeah, so what, mine's a 2-litre turbo, yours is a what,
1.5 3-cylinder with cylinder deactivation technology.
Ooh.
Which is fancy but doesn't really do too much.
Okay, either way, the first win for the Fiesta.
Indeed, yes.
So the fifth and final round of this head-to-head is of course the viewer's choice. Now for those of you who are unfamiliar, at the beginning of us filming today, so probably about 2 hours ago now, I put a poll on my Instagram for you guys at home to vote whether you prefer the Golf R or the Fiesta ST, and I'm yet to look at that until now. So I'm on my Instagram now.
I've not got a good feeling about this.
Yeah, I don't think you should.
No. No.
So the Golf R has received 120 votes.
Not bad.
You may or may not have only received 23.
And I'm not going to lie, one of them was me.
Was it?
It was. Well, I had to give myself a fighting chance.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. To be honest, as predicted, dare I say, I don't mean to kind of
no
say that, but
so if we bring price into it,
yes,
if the Golf didn't beat the Fiesta hands down,
yeah,
then there's something seriously wrong.
Very
Let's
true.
Be honest.
But the idea of this whole series is to compare hot hatches, and I would class the Fiesta ST in the Mark 8 form a hot hatch.
It is.
It's almost like a Stars hot hatch.
Yeah,
and seeing as yours is REVO tune 250 brake,
it is mad.
It's mad. And I kind of thought to myself, you know what, why not? Let's branch out the series rather than just doing your standard everyday hot hatches like the RS3, which I'm yet to do, A45, Focus RS, stuff like that. Because there would only realistically be about 5 episodes of this series. So there we go. Although it was kind of predictable from the start, it was still super fun.
It was.
So firstly,
yeah,
have you on the channel,
yeah,
and also to have this thing on the channel because it's an utter pocket rocket. It really is. It's a proper smile maker. I
tell you what,
love it.
in the summer, I'll give you a rematch.
Ooh.
And we'll see just how close it is.
Because you have plans, don't you?
Some plans.
Some plans.
Just plans.
Just plans.
Plans.
Plans that will lead to more plans.
Indeed.
And then even more plans.
Indeed, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
For sure, well, let's do it. Like I mentioned earlier on in the video, you can of course check out Johnny's channel in the description down below, and also at the end screen coming after this scene, because you're filming a video of my Golf R, I think, today, which will be good fun, and also he's got plenty more videos of the Fiesta ST if you want to learn more about that. But anyway, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure you subscribe for all the adventures still to come.